Hi there, and welcome to our first video where I'm going to give you a brief introduction on the BreezeLingo ProSpeak method. First of all, I want to give you a huge congratulations for taking the first step towards becoming a more confident and fluent English speaker. We both know that learning English isn't always easy. It requires time, dedication, and perseverance, and it has a lot of ups and downs. But here's the good news. With the ProSpeak method and the steps we're going to give you over the coming months, you're going to gain the skills and abilities that you need to actually learn English and communicate in your professional environments. You'll also find that learning English isn't necessarily a traumatic experience, but it can be really enjoyable and rewarding experience. And at the end of the journey, you're going to have the confidence that you need to use English in your professional environments with confidence and fluency. Sounds good, doesn't it? Well, let's get started and I'll explain to you a bit more about the method. But before we get started, I'm going to tell you a little bit about me because I'm going to be the person taking you through these videos over the next few months. My name's Sam and I'm from Newcastle in the northeast of England, the land of the Geordies. If you think that English is difficult, you should try coming here because honestly, the accent is incredibly strong. I sometimes struggle to understand the local people. But it's a beautiful city and you're all welcome to come and visit us whenever you want. So I moved to Madrid in 2011 and I started teaching English as a self-employed English teacher to adults in their companies. And over the next 10 years, I realized that Spanish adults don't have a problem with the theoretical part of English. So the grammatical aspects of English, they actually understood better than myself. Sometimes my students had to ask me questions in grammar-related questions, and I had to go home and revise the grammar and find out what's a conditional or why are there subjunctives in Spanish and not in English. I had no idea. What I did find was that my students had big issues with lack of confidence when speaking English. And what they really needed was realistic practice where they could put all of the theory to the test and find that they could actually use English in any situation. So I developed a method over the following 10 years, which meant that my students could practice English as much as possible and in many different conversations as possible. And this helped give my students more confidence and more fluency to be prepared to speak English in any situation, especially their professional lives. In 2020, when the pandemic hit, we changed the format of the classes to go online. And I found that that was even better because it gave my students more accessible classes, more flexibility with the class schedule. So that meant that they had more consistency with their English classes and they learned English even faster, which was actually fantastic. Then in 2022, I decided to launch BreezeLingo, an online English language platform where I could employ a whole team of teachers from all different parts of the world to help even more people with their English objectives. I moved back to the UK last year with my partner Ruben and our two dogs, Blaze and Lyra, and my tortoise, Dude. And I'm now happily living back in the northeast of the UK. So that's a little bit of background about me, and let's go on to see more about the BreezeLingo ProSpeak method. So the ProSpeak method is a hybrid method of learning English. So the most important part of this ProSpeak method are the online live real-time English classes with English teaching experts. So these classes are really important because the teacher will focus them exactly on what you need to help you become a confident English speaker. Because in the end, you can't learn English without speaking it. It's just absurd to think otherwise. So these classes are the real key point of our ProSpeak method. And with these classes, you're going to learn how to be a really confident speaker, and your teacher is going to help you with any of the doubts or problems that you have when speaking English. The classes are flexible, so you can choose the day and the time that you want. And also, you can change teachers whenever you want. This is fantastic because the teachers all have their different accents and different dialects. So by changing teachers from time to time, you're going to feel more prepared to speak English in any situation with any person from anywhere in the world. And it's going to help you improve your English listening, which for a lot of people is the most difficult part of communication in English. So don't forget to always book your online classes with 24 hours at least in advance, and you can also change your online classes with 24 hours notice minimum. The second part of our ProSpeak method are the personalized videos, which you're going to be with me. So these videos are personalized because they're going to help you look at aspects which are specific to your professional life in English. With these videos, you're going to learn extra skills and abilities, especially the vocabulary that you need to express yourself confidently in English. All of the videos are going to be in English, so that's really good for your listening skills. You're going to get really good at my accent by the end of these videos, but we'll always include subtitles just in case you need some help. Remember, if there's any vocabulary that you didn't know before watching the videos, make a note of them in your notebook. In fact, I always recommend that you have a notebook handy to always write down any new vocabulary and look up the meanings and translations into Spanish. That way, it's going to help you retain the new vocabulary, and then you can use it in the future. The third part of the ProSpeak method is the use of interactive tools. So at BreezeLingo, we're constantly updating our methodology with the latest technology, and you'll have access to any of the tools we're currently using. For example, artificial intelligence to help you get feedback on your pronunciation, or also information on your overall progress and how you're getting on with your English. Our ProSpeak approach is designed to help you have all of the tools and skills that you need to speak English confidently and fluently in your professional life. Basically, we're going to help you speak English like a pro. So that's the end of this brief introduction to our BreezeLingo ProSpeak method. Of course, we're more than happy to help with any questions that you may have. You can contact your teachers directly through the online platform, through the messaging option or the communication channels there. And you can also contact us on these details you can see on the screen if you have any questions at all. So when you're ready, go ahead and book your first class online with the teacher of your choice at the day and time of your choosing, and get started on your journey to become a professional, confident and fluent English speaker. See you in the next video.